Hey, are you wondering how many times you should see a buck breed a doe before you feel confident that she is actually bred and is going to give birth in 5 months? Someone asked me recently, why isn't once enough? And last night during our live stream on breeding readiness, someone asked this question in the chat and I started to answer it, but then I went down a crazy rabbit hole and never actually got back around to that question. So I wanted to answer it tonight for those of you who are curious. And where I got lost is typically my answer to this question is pretty short. So what I do is I put the buck and the doe together in a stall in the barn when she is showing signs of being in heat. Basically, if she's letting other does mount her and she's not running away, that usually means she is in standing heat. And that's when a goat is actually ovulating. So they are only in heat. They're in heat for like 12 to 48 hours. And you don't know how long it's going to be until looking at it in your rearview mirror. So it's always a good idea, as soon as you see a doe in heat, to put her in a stall and bring a boyfriend in, set him up on their little date, and see what happens. So if he breeds her successfully one time, I say, okay, she is in standing heat. I'm going to go inside, mark my calendar for 145 days in the future, and I'm going to go do my thing for 2 or 3 hours or overnight. You know, if it's at the end of the day, we were doing chores or whatever, then they just spend the night together and we'll take him out in the morning. Seeing one successful breeding, like she didn't run away from him or anything, I know, yes, she's really in standing heat. She's really letting him breed her. So she should get pregnant because she should be ovulating right now. However, if she runs away or something, then she might not actually be in standing heat yet. And I don't like to leave a doe and a buck together without having seen a successful breeding, because maybe she was in standing heat a couple hours ago and we just completely missed it. And so now she's in there. She's not going to let him breed her, which is fine because it's too late for her to get pregnant. And so I don't want to be expecting kids in 5 months if she's not pregnant. So it's important to see that one successful breeding to know that she is indeed in standing heat. And then if you're busy, you can just leave them together for 2 or 3 hours. Or if you're not busy and you actually want this buck to breed lots of does today because you see other does in heat or whatever, then it's a good idea to let them breed 3 or 4 times, but then separate them and, bring in the next doe. And it's a good idea to not put multiple does in there at once, because he will sometimes get a favorite and then he'll just keep breeding her. And, she doesn't need to be bred 7 times and this doe bred once, because then the doe that's only bred once is less likely to get pregnant. So most people know enough about conception in mammals to know that it takes literally thousands of sperm for just one of them to find an egg and actually fertilize it. So that's why, more breedings is going to give you more chances for success. And so that's why it's pros and cons, right? There is no reason to take him out after one breeding. If you're busy, fine, just leave him in there for a few hours. But if you take him out after just one breeding, she might not get pregnant because there might not be any little sperms in there that are swimming fast enough to find an egg or two and fertilize it. So you're going to be much better off, have much higher chance for a successful pregnancy if he breeds her at least 3 or 4 times. And there's no reason not to let him breed her 3 or 4 times, unless you've got quite a long list of does that you want to set him up with, that are also in heat on that particular day. So hopefully this, and if you're curious about what a successful breeding looks like, we do have videos of that in our free breeding course, which you can find at thegoatacademy.net. And we will put a link to that in the show notes or the comment section. Bye for now. If you got questions, put them in the comment section below. Bye.